Nicely done, Olivia. Beautiful job. Beautiful song tonight.
1-2, 1-2.
Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to introduce to you the starting lineups. First of all, from Spanish Fork to the Spanish Fork Dog. Would you please welcome number 3, Zach Argyle, a senior guard, 6 foot.
1-2, 1-2.
Number 5, Morley Bennett, a senior guard forward, 6'1".
1-2.
Number 12, Ryan Flake, a junior, senior, 6'4".
1-2, 1-2.
And number 13, Cade Olson, a junior guard, 6 foot. Please welcome number 23, Roman Iyer, a junior guard, 5'10". Head coach is Ryan Cutler, and the assistant coach, Jesse Roberts, Barrett Johnson, Jordan Rogers, Lee Norwood, and Matt Evans, along with Hunter Sorensen.
I can hit the back, not anymore. Whenever you have that up.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Wasatch High School starting 5. Cleveland Jackson Anderson, a 6'4" guard. Number 10, Cole Magnuson, a senior, 6'7" center.
One, two.
I think we're live. No. I don't hear you, do I?
1, 2, 1, 2. One, two, 1, 2. When he pressed that one.
Oh, that's
1, 2, 1, 2.
Yep.
1, 2, 1, 2. One, two, 1, 2. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Sting TV. And yes, we are about a minute behind game time start. The Sting TV crew today has been through only 3 events instead of 5 like the other night. We welcome you to Wasatch High School boys basketball here in the Nest at Wasatch High School. The Wasps of Wasatch are hosting the Spanish Fork Dons in Region 8 action. Game is a minute into action, and it is 2-2. We thank you for joining us here.
And we apologize for our video problems right now. We're working on it. We should have it up any second. There's a quick fast break layup by pass up ahead by Hawk Ballstead to Colin Hughes for an easy 2. Puts them up 4-2 with 6:46.
So for now, we'll give you a little radio play-by-play.
Yeah, something different here, Brent.
And we'll do that.
Again,
right
another
now.
fast break.
The Wasps up 6-2.
On easy transition stuff, Spanish Fork is getting some misses. They're taking quick shots down there. Wasatch is able to get that rebound, and then they're just looking up ahead and throwing it.
So we'll catch you up just a little bit here. This is Brent Martindale here with Corey Lang, the director of Sting TV. Corey doing 4 jobs at once, and he'll be doing the color tonight. We'll catch you up. There's a timeout. Spanish Fork calling the timeout. There's 6 minutes and 33 seconds left in the first quarter. So just to catch up a little bit, the teams started quickly, both pushing quickly. Wasatch scored first. Hawk Ballstead scoring the first basket of the night after missing the last couple of games for Wasatch, his first night back. Spanish Fork answered immediately with a bucket by Bennett. But then, since then, it has been all Wasatch. 2 fast break baskets, and here comes Spanish Fork back. Spanish Fork running a motion offense against the man defense, and there's lots of driving and dishing out, and there's a bucket by Flake. There was a drive by Bennett, drove into the lane, kicked it out to Blake, and he took about a 10-foot jumper. Wasatch with the ball on the court. The typical starters for Wasatch: Ballstead, Wonder, Anderson, Hughes, and Magnuson. Wasatch running quickly. They're attacking quickly. Same sort of offense, driving and dishing. And that time the shot taken, I believe that was, I believe that was Windsor with that shot off the rim. Magnuson battled for the rebound and it went out of bounds. Spanish Fork with the ball. Spanish Fork up top, actually once again driving, dishing. There's a break on the drive. Will take over. Once again, Spanish Fork up 7-6. 4:50 left in this first quarter. And for those on with us, we apologize for the technical difficulties. Well, we will definitely give you the play-by-play as best we can. Spanish Fork slowly bringing the ball across midcourt. That's Iyer dribbling, passes it off to Bennett. Bennett drives. He's going to drive in, takes a soft 5-foot jumper off the glass, no good. Rebound by Bowen, and here comes Wasatch quickly down the court. Bowen at the top. Bowen comes down low. They try to get it down to him. Turnover, and Spanish Fork takes advantage with the end-to-end layup quickly by Argyle. They are up 9-6. Wasatch comes back quickly.
That early timeout sure seemed to do them some good.
Made a huge difference from the timeout.
Yeah, they came out a totally different team.
And scoreboard still showing 7-6. And looks like we have video.
It should be 9-6.
So we'll check on that quickly. I'm sure right now Spanish is asking.
I'm surprised their coaches, looks like they're catching it now on the bench.
Yeah, they're trying to catch it. So unless the score was incorrect before, Corey, we're guessing it's not. Yep, there it is. It just came over. So we have video now. We'll keep giving you as much play-by-play as we can. But once again, Corey Lang here, huffing. You're not even breathing heavy with all that you just did.
It's been quite a week for me and quite a day.
Yeah, well, we mentioned you're only doing 3 events today instead of 5 like the other night.
Yeah, you'd think it'd be easier, huh?
Well, congratulations to you,
I just got to say, we support this. I mean, we are grateful for the support and the watchers that we've been getting this week. Our numbers are through the roof on participation and people watching and we've picked up a couple of sponsors this week. Dairy King, Heber Valley Cheese, Labor and Ford.
Awesome.
And Mountain Land, One Stop. So I support those. Those are the ones that really are making this possible. We come, push the buttons, turn the knobs, but it doesn't happen without the funding.
Clearly, you're very humble with that because I watch what you do, and it is not easy. And I hear nothing but absolutely wonderful things from everybody watching. So you've been able to watch.
I hope they like it.
Well, fans have been able to watch wrestling, every mat this week at the divisionals, as Brecken Bowen at the line for Wasatch. Bowen, by the way, has come in and given some great time these last few games, come off the bench. And Bowen hits one of his 2 free throws. And as you can see there, Spanish Fork up 9-7. That's the first score for Wasatch since 6:20 left in the first quarter. Wasatch was up quickly, 6-2. And so that was a 7-2, 7-1 run from Spanish Fork here in the last 3 minutes. Spanish Fork loaded with guards. Both teams, Corey, look like they're very similar in that their guards swing a lot, lots of movement, lots of picks, and lots of drives to kick out. There's another drive right there and another kick out quickly. Garside looked like he had a layup if he had the ball right under the basket.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing from Spanish Fork so far.
Yep.
As a team with that kind of record, it's so easy on the road, and this late in the season, they kind of fold it up and give in, but they've come to play. I love it.
Spanish Fork 0-7 in region play and 1-13 overall, but not many easy wins for other teams over Spanish Fork.
No.
And speaking with Coach Ballstead before the game tonight, he is absolutely, completely respectful of Spanish Fork, knows exactly what they do. They are super aggressive. And Coach Ballstead mentioned Spanish Fork gets lots of slaps defensively.
Yeah, they're very active.
Yeah.
I can see that just in
Says the guys are always getting slapped in the arm. and Ballstead, Coach Ballstead compared it to swimming with sharks. They were constantly getting bit. And he told the guys, I don't care how many times you get bit. Just want you to bring the boat in. That's all we want.
Yep.
That was a fabulous drive that time.
That was a great take, and you see that activity by Spanish Fork. Collapsing on every drive. There's always 2-3 people digging at that ball as he's going in. So you got to be careful with it, be strong with it, and play through the contact, and just keep your head, and you should be all right.
Love the drive there by Windsor. Almost looked like he was trying to dunk it.
Yeah, a lot of times when a team is really aggressive like that and they're coming at you, the best way to combat that is just match the aggression, right? If a guy is running at you really hard to close out,
to try to
attack the closeout, because he can't stop and pull up and then gather himself in time for you to just blow by him. So I try to tell my guys all the time. You've got to attack the closeouts and match the level of intensity that the defense is going to bring.
Spanish Fort looks like they're very willing to make Wasatch work really hard tonight. They've been super aggressive. Windsor hit the first of the free throws, missed the second. The play on the rebound was questioned a little bit. The first referee, and there's a fabulous
great play by Colin
down.
And inbound plays. Those baseline out of bounds are huge. You've mentioned how good Coach Hader is at those, and those good coaches that have been around a long time like that just have a book of inbound plays from the baseline. And
the drive there, drive there by Bennett. Foul was before the shot, so the basket does not count. Both teams with 3 fouls here in the first quarter. Minute 53 left. Brecken Bowen comes off after serving a great 3 or 4 minutes there, giving Magnuson a breather. And once again, always comes in, contributes immediately. Brecken Bowen gets a couple rebounds, and that's going to be an offensive foul.
He gets at least one of those a game, it seems like. Anticipates. Another player that I saw do that a lot a couple years was Rylan Jones at Olympus, his senior year when he took them to the championship. And
so how does that play work there? Is that more him getting set?
It's position and selling it.
Okay, a little shoulder maybe?
It is legit. If the ref sees the offensive player extend his arm to clear that space, a heads-up player like Colin and will, as soon as you feel that contact and the extension, you'll sell it and you'll go down. And it's obvious when you're going down, the ref looks, and if that arm's extended, it's an offensive foul.
Yeah.
If the arm's not extended or the shoulder's not lowered, a lot of times it's a no call.
Gotcha.
Unless you impede the ball's advancement, but Colin's so good at that.
Colin, one of the steal leaders.
It's getting a half a step ahead of the offensive guy, anticipating that, and then when you feel that contact and going with it.
A moment ago, we saw Joe Wonder come in the game already aggressively with that hard drive there a moment ago that had the foul called on him.
And here's Hawk. He likes that pull up, right? That's what he's bread and butter. He averages about 8 points a game, and I think I'm surprised it's not 9 because I don't know if he's ever shoots twos.
Yeah, according to stats, Ballstead right at actually 10 points a game now.
10.
Yep. Wasatch, again, we mentioned earlier, without Ballstead the last couple of games. Although the game Tuesday night, as most fans should know by now, was postponed. There's a steal quickly by Spanish Fort.
He's got a man ahead. Oh, got to get that pass a little bit quicker. You want to be making that pass when the ball's at the half-court line so that he's catching it about the free throw line. So He's got a couple steps and can gather himself. He just waited too long.
Great speed there. That's Roman Iyer.
But still, the ball hits you in the hands. You got to catch it. No excuse.
23 seconds left here in the first quarter. Wasatch has retaken the lead 10-9. Windsor brings the ball down for basically being a big guy. Windsor 6'1", 6'2". Sometimes he's bringing the ball down. Those guards often trade those duties, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Garrett Windsor's a body that you could create some mismatches with because, as we've seen throughout the season, he's very comfortable posting up. And Wasatch will run things and get him in the post. But he can handle the ball very well, like a point guard. So,
I don't know. Ballstead shooting 2, misses the first. Talked to Coach Ballstead before the game about Hawk and mentioned that Hawk was getting the start and that they were going to, quote, check to see how his legs were tonight. And he makes the second, 11-9, 9.3 seconds. Spanish Fork has quickly, and they don't have a problem getting it off quickly. There's a 3-point attempt just off the rim.
Man, that was a good look, too.
And there's a 3-quarter shot by Ballstead. And it looked good. Wasatch will go into the second quarter 11-9 over the Spanish Fork Dons.
Great quarter of play there, both teams. Spanish Fork, as you said, very aggressive, all over the ball and attacking. That kind of shows that their foul count was 6 as well, but that's kind of a style that they need to hang in the games. And so
Spanish Fork led by Bennett with 5 points in the quarter. Wasatch led by Garrett Windsor with 5 points as well. Colin Hughes contributing 4 points there in the first quarter. These teams right now, as we mentioned, in sort of opposite ends of the 5A Region 8. Wasatch at the moment sitting in third place at 5-3 with an 8-9 overall record. First place in Region 8 is Payson. Some coaches saying a little surprised that Payson's in first. Other coaches not surprised. Payson at 8-1, Maple Mountain 7-1, and those are all before tonight's game, of course. Wasatch in third at 5-3, and then after that, a number of different teams very similar: Springville, Provo, Salem. Springville having had several games postponed for COVID reasons. We do have information, Corey, on that makeup game for the game that was postponed Tuesday night. That will be played Monday at Springville at 2:30 in the afternoon. We'll have more information for you on that, but once again, the game that Tuesday night that was postponed, the Wasatch at Springville, has been moved to Monday, this coming Monday.
We'll have to check and see if they're going to broadcast that. If not, sounds like a road trip.
I'm thinking a road trip to Springville would be a lot of fun. Wasatch comes down their first possession with a good look at the 3. And just off the iron. That is Olsen for Springville. It's his first bucket of the game. It is 11 all. We've already had 4 lead changes in this game. Colin Hughes getting it down. They seem to be getting the ball down low, Corey, and making a couple of turnovers.
Yeah, man. And Spanish Fork has had looks like this in transition, quick, fast break at the basket, and just can't finish.
Yeah, really good looks.
Man,
I mean,
if they could finish those,
a couple of missed layups.
They'd have 20 points on the board pretty easy.
Wasatch mostly looking like they're looking like not quite as much energy here as the first quarter, but
they've gone into a 2-3
couple of another great drive and dish there. Colin Hughes right where he needs to be.
And I think Spanish Fork switched that defense up to the 2-3 because of that foul count. Maybe they want to keep some guys out of foul trouble and take away those cutting lanes that Wasatch was getting just driving to the basket.
Spanish Fork answers with a 3 from Flake. And Wasatch. Jackson Anderson answers with his 3-pointer. Anderson, his first bucket of the night for Wasatch. Wasatch, Corey, seems like they're scoring very well-rounded. You have Anderson, 12 points a game. Ballstead, 10 points a game. Hughes, 10 points a game. Windsor, 9 points a game. So 4 of the 5 starters with at least 9 points a game in a very well-balanced attack offensively. That's Argyle at the line for the Dons. Makes his first free throw. Wasatch up 16-15 here with about 5:50 left in the first half. Argyle makes both, and he's going to come off for a breather for the Dons. Wasatch takes over full court, tied at 16 all. Both teams have significantly slowed down just a little bit. There's a drive down the lane. Anderson with a soft little floater right in the middle of the key, just off the soft rim, but he got his own rebound. Joe Wonder driving hard. Here's Anderson again driving. He's getting under the basket. Little Euro step. Good.
He's got great vision and patience with that. I love his attack like that. He's an awesome shooter, as we've all seen. But his drives like that, where it's just methodical in his approach. Like he's looking, scanning. It doesn't look rushed. It doesn't look out of control in any way. Like,
you know, as quick as Spanish Fork's defense was, Anderson just flew by him on that drive.
Yeah.
And Anderson completes the 3-point play, 19-16. 5:20 left in the first half. There's a similar soft jumper by Argyle. Flake gets the ball, back to Flake, and that will be a foul. Looks like charged to Windsor. Very, very similar possessions there.
Yeah.
Wasatch, same thing.
Great pick and roll. Wasatch doubled that. They bounced, kicked it to him at the high post. The help came, and the help is the one that got caught.
Springville not afraid to give up. That's twice now that they've been able to get the ball down low to their big guy, Flake. And it just almost looks like he could turn around and make a layup.
I know.
But he kicks it out, and they're not afraid to shoot that. Yeah. It just seems like if they were just to land, do one step or the other, he'd have a layup. He's a great jumper, great athlete. He's probably got an inch or two below Magnuson, but boy, he can leap. Spanish Fork is seeing now their first full court press by Wasatch.
And they look very composed, get to their spots.
Got it across very quickly.
Oh, if he looks up one
and
more.
And they're attacking. Oh, and that is a
great block by Cole Magnuson. Huge block. Oh, that's one of the cleanest, best-looking blocks I've seen this year out of Cole.
Very big.
Just hand right on top of the ball.
Long arm reach. Both teams now picking up the energy quickly. And there's a soft jumper by Olson.
Here's another look at that block. Yeah, just a hand right on top. There's a block and there's a stuff, right? That's a stuff.
Joe Wonder answers with his soft jumper and his first points of the night. Spanish Fork takes over once again, driving. It's the drive and dish, very, very similar. They do the same drive dish and very similar with the guards. They're very similar
it's a
in terms of what they do.
Drive kick, and they're looking to flip one. Wasatch is doing a great job of covering. There's Joe's shot.
Soft jumper, beautiful.
Yep. That's that rare mid-range jumper that you don't see a lot. Other games, they're just doing away with it. You either scoot back 3 feet, 2 feet, 1 foot, and get a 3, or you get to the rim.
You know what? Some players just make that look super easy.
Joe's one of those.
That was a traveling violation by Olson, so Wasatch takes over again. There's, like we talked about earlier, Windsor at the top of the key. Lots again, dishing, slash and dish. That's Hughes again.
Yeah, they're just beating them to the spots, and Wasatch is finding that cutter.
And, you know, oftentimes the scorer gets the credit for that, but that was a beautiful pass by Windsor. And just knowing each other where they're going to be, that just seems like that takes a lot of practice. Another nice drive, another look.
Yeah,
great
at
look.
The rim. They're
for
getting
Spanish.
the shots, I think, that they want. You know, 4 to 5 feet from the hoop. Yeah, it's either that or a double. Just kind of lost control a little bit as he was dribbling, but man,
it's a carrying violation. Yeah, here's Windsor, and he looked quickly. He sees and knows Hughes is coming across. Beautiful.
See, in defense, Spanish, your head's got to be just on a pivot, just super active. As soon as he starts backing in, you've got to know, cutter, your guy's going to come, and especially when he picks up the ball, you've got to account for everybody because now he's stuck and he's got to find an outlet. Don't give him one.
Lots of athleticism in these passes. You know, these both teams there with quick passes that just happened to be stolen. And Wasatch had an opportunity there, but quickly had the ball taken away from him.
With the pace that this game is going and the active bodies on both sides, like if Spanish can't find a way to convert like these easy ones at the rim, I could see Wasatch breaking out with a quick lead.
As it is, Wasatch up 23-18. Another turnover there under the basket, and another three-point attempt by Spanish Fort.
In and out.
Hauled down manly by Brecken Bowen. And there's Windsor again. Beautiful drive, left-handed off the glass.
To go ahead to, and you can see it looking at him.
Yeah, watch here. This is.
He's got
little drive.
Colin Hughes on one side and Garrett on the other, and the defense just played in between. And
to me, the big difference of what you were just saying, Corey, right there showed Windsor using the glass properly.
Yeah.
And it just sometimes seems like Spanish is.
You'll get that lucky bouncer. Lucky, I say, but it's a shooter's touch. It's,
okay.
They're using the glass for a reason, and your chances go up.
As many as Wasatch has had plays like that off the glass down low, I would think Spanish has more attempts off the glass. They would have, if they had converted most of theirs, they'd easily be winning the in the paint score and possibly the game score. Yeah,
I would give them 10 points. They would be up by right now if they would convert even half of those easy 3 to 4 feet from the rim buckets.
Wasatch.
So let's see. I mean, they've done a really good job defensively. I think going into that zone this quarter has helped them cut back on the fouls. They've only had one this whole quarter. Wasatch is sitting at 6, Spanish at 7, and so mission accomplished with that, but you got to find a way to stop those cutters because Wasatch isn't beating you with the outside shot.
No.
And on a zone, typically that's how you're going to get beat is you're giving up those. Zones are designed to plug up the paint and take away the cutters, and Wasatch is just having their way with it.
Spanish looking at a full court press again. Spanish has beat the press each time, and they will take over That's Ronan Iyer. He dishes it off. Olsen with the ball, looks down low. He finds Garside, kicks it out again. Again, looks like there was an opportunity for a post move there.
Big man, good step to the rim, 3 feet, go up with it, put it up.
Bowen gets the pass from Wonder, and he is fouled, and the basket is good. I love seeing that emotion from Bowen right there.
Yeah, let's get a look at that one again. Nice little dump pass by Joe
Beautiful
Wonder.
pass.
And just a strong, easy finish, composed finish at the rim.
Yeah, I love seeing that excitement from Brecken. Sometimes he kind of has the look of, you know, I'm just a guy off the bench. I'm just going to do my duty. But that time he looked like I belong.
I've seen some big games out of Brecken, and he's absolutely capable of it.
Spanish Fork takes over with 1:37.
Another.
Not a bad shot.
Another layup at the rim. It's almost like they're hurried and just tossing the ball up at the rim, hoping it goes in.
That one looked even more so. Yeah, I agree.
Compose yourself.
Bowen with the soft in the middle and into the game.
And another offensive rebound leads to a bucket by Pello.
Yeah, that's Brigham Pello coming in off the bench. Wasatch with three, in my opinion, three of the best off the bench players in the league at this point. They are able to do that. I know Payson had that same ability. They had guys that could just come in at any time. And on any given night, Wasatch can have those guys come in. Both teams, as Coach Lang mentioned, both teams shooting 1-1 at least here for the last minute.
Let's see if Spanish can get some buckets from the free throw line here in the last minute to try to close this gap.
That is Glenn at the line.
As a coach on the road, you'd love to be down single digits, you know. Well, I mean, sorry. You would love to be up, but considering if you can keep it to single digits going into the second half, then it's a complete doable game, right?
Argyle makes both for the Dons. He's leading the team with 9 points. And Dons showing their own full court press. Wasatch trying to attack.
They had guys.
Yes, they had numbers, didn't they? Beautiful dish again. Bowen with
they're just
losing jumper.
Losing sight of their man. They go into the zone, and you still have to defend somebody in a zone. It's not just an area. Guy drives baseline, cutting him off. The middle defender comes over to paint, and you're leaving the guy in the middle of the paint.
That's a three-pointer by the big guy. That's Flake. I think he was open, so if you're going to give me that, I'm going to shoot it.
There's Brecken, who was wide open. I think he was a little hurried because he was wanted to get that up. Short clock.
And there, this will be good if he makes it, and it is good.
5 points going into half.
Wasatch,
all things considered, you got to be happy if you're coach for Spanish here.
Yes, 1 point with a 10-point lead with just 30 seconds left. And we'll see this last play here. And that's Iyer, Ronan Iyer, playing that perfectly.
A little excitement out of him after that shot. I'd love to see that.
So it was an 11-point lead at 1 point for Wasatch with under a minute. And Spanish comes back, does a 5-0 run. I actually believe it's a 7-2 run because Wasatch did score there at 1 point. So we'll go into the halftime. Coach Lang, 31-26 for Wasatch. Before the drill team starts here, what are teams? You just mentioned Spanish is happy at this point.
Yeah.
At the end of their first half.
They're happy with the result on the scoreboard. They're not going to be happy with just finishing shots. I don't know what their shooting percentage is right now, but it's not good. They're getting the shots in the areas they want. If you looked at the shot chart, that's where you want them. They just got to put them in the bucket. So that's the biggest thing right now for Spanish is just finish those shots. Wasatch, limit your turnovers.
We thank you for joining us here on Sting TV. We're going to let you watch the Wasatch High School drill team, and we'll be back in just a little bit.
Company.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us here on Sting TV. I'm Brent Martindale here with Corey Lang, and we appreciate you joining us tonight. This is Wasatch High School basketball. The Wasps with a 31-26 lead going into the halftime here over the Spanish Fork Dons. We're going to look just a little bit about scoring for the Wasps. Excuse me. Windsor, Hughes leading with 8 points, Windsor 7, and Brecken Bowen comes in, coach, 5 points for the Wasps coming in off the bench tonight for the Dons.
And he's been very solid with that. Like, I don't feel like in any way he's been a liability on the court. Like, I'm surprised it's 5, to be honest.
Bowen has always been great off the bench. Magnuson, of course, the starter, always solid. He has 2 gargantuan stuff blocks tonight.
Yeah, he's been big in the middle. And I think him and Brecken and everybody else, but those 2 mainly have been a big reason that Spanish is not finishing at the rim. You know, they know they got those big defenders down there that are giving them problems.
And probably a point that we did not even think of before is that presence that Magnuson has done. Made it tough on, and like you said, it only takes a little hesitation to miss what would typically seem like a pretty easy shot underneath the basket.
Yeah.
Spanish Fork led by Argyle with 9 points, and Flake has 8 points. Flake, their big guy, typically averaging about 5 points a game, hit that three-pointer, one of the three-pointers in the last couple of minutes there for Spanish Fork. Spanish Fork had a 7-2 run to catch up just a little bit. And so we begin the action here. Coach Corey, what are the teams looking for to be able to do here to start the second half?
Spanish wants to establish itself a little bit on the offensive end. Their defense has been pretty good and active in that sense. They've got to take away the easy cutters, make Wasatch take difficult shots. Their shots are too easy right now. So defensively, make them limit those, make them take difficult shots, and find success. You know, a recipe on offense that you're going to get. Wasatch, just take care of the ball, and the rest will do itself for you. Your defense is doing all right. I think they're right on pace at their average on points.
As you mentioned, Corey, Spanish had made any decent percentage.
Those are one of those turnovers. You just got to limit those if you're Wasatch. You're getting the looks and you're getting the motion you want, but you can't throw it away. That kills everything good that you just did.
Spanish Fork takes over. Ronan Iyer dishing off the ball there. He's the one that hit the three-pointer with 1 second remaining in the second half to give Spanish a lot of energy. And there's another three-pointer.
That was a great kick out.
That's Bennett.
Good set. Nice looking shot.
And essentially that is a 10-2 run with 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Now Spanish continuing on. Wasatch looking at a man that looks like they're not afraid, Corey. That man coming clear out. They're clear out of the hash mark. There's a long three-pointer.
See, and if you're Spanish, that's a success right there. It wasn't a layup. It wasn't in the paint, and it was a contested shot. Let's take a look at that kick-out three. Beautiful fall through and hangs that.
I think
nice
Coach
shot.
Ballstead there given the message that I don't think he knows that. I don't think he believes that was the shot they really wanted right there.
No, I don't think so either. In fact, I'm positive that that's not what you want coming out.
And yet you want your guys, you know, having Hughes have confidence knowing you can take that whenever.
Yeah, I believe that Coach Ballstead has 100% faith in Colin. It's the timing of that. There's the good, better, best in shots.
Right, okay.
Right, it might be a good shot, but let's get a better shot.
Cade Olson with his own great drive there and nearly a bucket and a foul. He's going to take 2 free throws here. Makes the first.
See, and this is good. This is offensively, like I said, they wanted to create a recipe, an identity on offense where they were just patient with it. They got the kick out 3, and now they get a foul to the line, hit a couple free throws. It's a tied ball game now. It's
tied up, 12-2 run, basically from 2-minute mark left in the first half. Spanish Fork has now made this a game again.
So if you're Coach Ballstead, you want to do the same thing here on offense. Run through your offense a couple of times and get a really good look. Get everybody involved. And so
using that pick at the top, there's Ballstead. Just as you mentioned, Coach.
Ballstead, an open look right at the elbow. Good shot.
Spanish Fork comes down quickly. They don't want to lose momentum here.
Yeah, and your offense has been working here this half so far for Spanish. So be patient. You don't have to hurry it. If Wasatch just scores and goes up 2, don't get caught into a track meet with them. And here's that look by Ballstead pulling up right at the elbow.
Beautiful. Yep.
You almost want to because that plays into Wasatch's game and momentum now when they get that 2-point bucket and a lead. Come down, be deliberate, burn 30 seconds, be really deliberate on offense, and then get the look that you want. And it'll take that last success shot that Hawk had, kind of numbs it a little bit and takes it out.
Spanish Fork with their first turnover of the second half. There's a big three-pointer.
Because now on the back of that turnover, you come down, hit a 3, and there's a 5-0 run. And so Coach is very wise. Let's stop this here while this game's still reachable.
There's that step back three-pointer.
Trying to keep control of the momentum and the pace in this game. That's a tough shot to defend, that step back like that. Because he's so capable of driving that you've got to play the drive. And so the defender starts to go, and he just steps back and creates that space, and he's got an open shot.
Just like you mentioned, Coach Ballstead probably does have great confidence in these guys to let them shoot that 3 when it's open. And
yeah, they've won a lot of games just by 3s.
That's true.
So they're a great shooting team.
The story here, Spanish Fork at one time there in the second half with just a few minutes, we're down 11. Went on a 10-2 run to tie the game back up. But Wasatch now with their own 4-0 run. Spanish Fork calling this timeout, and they will take the ball out. It looks like, Coach, they're going to see some full court pressure again. Just sort of a man. Nope, sorry. They're at their own basket, so they're going to be smothered quickly with the man, and it looks like, Coach, they're sticking with the man on defense.
Yeah, and I don't see why you wouldn't. You're not in any kind of foul trouble. You match up really well, man to man to man. I feel like you have an advantage that way.
Ronan Iyer drove, kind of thought he might
trying to get the call rather than the finish, I feel like.
Big three-pointer.
Another 3. That puts an 8-0
Windsor.
Kind of pull away here.
Windsor now with 10. There's Spanish Fork following up with their 3-point attempt. There's a big offensive rebound and bucket.
Big board. Because the 3, if it goes down, would be huge, but an offensive board and a putback is almost just as good because it doesn't let Wasatch get a run back.
That was Bennett for the Dons.
And you got your attempt. I'm a big one on odds, right? Playing the numbers. So there's your miss on the 3. You got a rebound and a putback. So maybe your next one's a make.
Windsor driving low. Almost had that replay there.
Kyler's working on his replay game.
Here it is, Windsor. Oh, that's the 3-point attempt from before. Beautiful shot there. Windsor for the night. For Wasatch.
There's Hawk at the line. Knocks it down.
Ballstead hitting that shot. Ballstead with just 3 points. That's now his 4th point of the night.
And that doesn't surprise me. He's had to take time off out of practice and games due to COVID. And so there's a little rust. Even as young as these guys are and as much as Hawk plays.
A little sloppy there by the Dons. Causes their
See, that's where you just want to be deliberate. Come down. If it's not a fast break layup, then set it up the few times when they started the quarter. They got into it, they had success, and they converted on offense.
Ballstead off the top, goes off of the pick. There's Windsor again, beautiful. The lefty is swinging the night. That's his 12th point of the night. Windsor leading all scorers.
It's a
Spanish
game
Fort
of
drives
runs.
quickly, and I agree with you, Coach, what you were saying. That's just scared of the big block from
That shot
Wasatch.
was not blocked, but it was 100% missed because of Colt Magnuson.
Yes. Wasatch down quickly. Beautiful passing. Jackson Anderson.
Let's see if Spanish can put together a run to try to stop the bleeding
Ballstead,
here on.
beautiful pass there.
Nice breakaway.
Ballstead.
And Ballstead here on defense, really active, even with his feet, getting that kickball.
You mentioned earlier, Ballstead maybe only 4 points, but boy, he has been in almost every minute of the game.
Yeah.
And has definitely.
And he brings a lot of leadership. That's probably the biggest thing he brings to this team is the leadership of keeping everybody calm and on the right page. And that's a great clear out and drive by the big man.
Flake. Yeah, there was just one little head fake.
Yeah,
and got him
you
off.
Don't see that mental lapse in Wasatch's defense very often. They don't give up the lane. There's always a help defender. He recognized it was open, and very good take and good read, taking to the hole and finishing. Those are the ones they missed in the first.
Wasatch was on a 7-0 run and a 10-point lead, and that it was actually a 12-point lead, and that bucket and free throw now cuts the lead to 9. Excuse me, 7. 43-36 is the lead for Wasatch.
And that gives Lake 11 points. Double digits here in the second half. Ooh, wow. Nice hesitation. Yeah, good ball control with that left hand.
And Spanish Fort comes down quickly. The bucket by Olson. And here comes Wasatch again. Windsor's going to drive, little Euro step, misses the layup, but
I think there was a little contact.
Looked like there might have been.
Both teams trying to push it up, trying to get the quick bucket and get. If you got it, take it. Here's that lefty right off the window. That is just
a little crisp ball shovel right off the glass there. Beautiful. Joe Wonder checks into the game.
The long step away to create the separation, and then outreach to left off the window, and just well played.
Joe Wonder and Brecken Bowen check into the game for the Wasps.
And here's a zone look from Wasatch. They like to mix it up every now and then. This is the first that I remember seeing it this game, but I'll have to admit my eyes have been off on helping the crew a bit too. So
that time driving in was Olson.
And they took away the lanes. They took away the cutters, made them take a shot, a contested shot, and they got the board.
Is the zone defense meant to keep teams from driving to the middle more, or is it okay?
That's one of the purposes that it can be used, is to keep the cutters away, clog the lane.
Bennett up top, he gets it down low and just throws it a little too, just a bit.
Our assistant president, we're open, but I don't think they're going to score that for you. There's that great little pull-up.
Yeah, nice little shot.
And that's what you got to do. If a team's playing zone, you got to get a little bit of penetration in the paint, especially that top elbow area, top of the key. If you can get the ball there, then you've broken the zone.
Wasatch taking over 45-38 is the lead.
Spanish answering with their own 2-3 zone.
There's Brecken Bowen, and he's going to go in hard. The shot was blocked, looked like cleanly by Bennett, but I think they're going to give the foul to Flake. Flake's only his first. Brecken Bowen will get 2 at the line. As we mentioned earlier, Bowen with 5 points came in that first half and definitely did an offensive job for Wasatch. Bowen's not quite as big a presence on the block shots as Magnuson, of course, but he's still a big body and comes in and does the job. Makes the second 46-38.
He's a little more active with his feet than Magnuson is, and that's kind of the trade-off there.
There's another cut and pass
Another
there.
great cut to the rim.
That's Bennett. Bennett starting to rack up the points. That's 9 for him. Flake leading Spanish Fork with 11 points. Windsor once again, soft little jumper right at the top, right near the free throw line. Their offense seems to go off of Flake coming to the free throw line. That is a downtown three. Jackson Anderson, 14 now for the night. And he was way out, Coach. That was a big, big three-pointer.
Good foul by Flake. On the board, there's going to be a call. Let's take a look at that shot again.
Yeah,
Jackson deep.
That was NBA.
Yeah, looking confident and cool there with that shot.
Spanish Fork with a couple of offensive rebounds on that last possession. Flake comes out of the game. Wasatch did commit the foul there. 14 fouls already for Wasatch here in the third quarter.
And that's 3 on Garrett Windsor. So yeah, wisely take him out there at the end. You don't want him to pick up his 4th going in.
Hughes with the extra step there. I don't know if that was an extra step. It looked like he picked it up and made the great steal and full-length layup.
The Eastern Euro step. Need a little bit more distance on that one.
The lead is now 11. That is the biggest lead of the night, matching what it was earlier in the quarter here. That's Garside. Well, maybe a little mystery step there, but Garside, Olsen driving there. Looked like he was going to get the foul called there, but
yeah. But again, that's Colin getting in front and keeping the good position, hands up, and playing defense with the body.
Nice play there, Hernandez with the dish in under the basket on the inbound play. Brings the Dons back within 1. The lead at one time has been 11, actually 2 different times for Wasatch. Utah looking
good anticipation by Spanish there, cutting off the middle. Stay composed.
Getting
plenty of time.
And there's a 3-point attempt by the Dons, no good. And
that was just
that looked just like
way too hurried for the amount of time you had. You had 9 seconds on the clock, and they felt like they had 3, you know, the way they were playing. And
although Spanish Fork did have the same look almost that they did at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
And
I feel like if they get just a little bit of control on that one, they get a good look at it rather than a hurried look. You could get it in, and they could use that right now. But
51-42 is the lead for Wasatch going into the 4th quarter. We want to thank all of the great student workers here in the nest tonight on manning the cameras and the producer board. And we've already been able to get a lot of great replays done tonight, and we compliment you, Corey. You've done a great job with the kids. They have, like you said, a busy week this week. Divisionals for wrestling were held right here at Wasatch in 2 different gyms. How many mats?
We had 14 high schools come and compete. We had 4 varsity mats going consecutively with 5 streams with the 4 mats, and then we had 1 stream that was all the mats combined.
Okay.
And it was all day for 2 days.
For 2
It was
full days.
A lot of wrestling.
And that is a lot of time. Students manning the cameras a lot. And so besides that, you also had the region swim meet.
Region swim started
that was
today.
Also hosted here.
And finals for that will be tomorrow on Wasatch Sting TV. Starting at 10 a.m., we'll have the finals for region swim.
And then on top of that, a boys basketball game tonight.
And we did a girls basketball game.
Beautiful inbound play there. That's Stevens.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Got the pass from Argyle. And just like that, the Dons are back in this. This is always going to be a game. Every time the quickness of Spanish Fork is able to take over somehow.
Yeah, they're in reach.
You know, the lead is 7.
With 7 minutes, that's plenty of time to do something. Staying in the zone, making it beat them from, and see that was a better defense because it was at least contested. There were guys there on him, and he's shooting it over the top rather than, I thought they were gonna let that play on there for a second. But Spanish is doing what they need. This is the right thing. Attack the rim. If you're not gonna get the bucket, then you're gonna get the foul, hopefully. If they 9 times out of 10, you'll get that. So now they can stop the clock, get a couple points on the board.
Bennett at the line for the Dons. He hits his first.
And defensively, make Wasatch settle for shots.
Kind of like that last possession.
Don't let them get the shots that they want.
Lots of subs in for Wasatch now. Wonder, Magnuson, Windsor, Ballstead, and Anderson are on the floor.
Windsor's got 3 fouls. I think he's the only one that's close to, foul trouble here in the 4th. So if you're Spanish, look to exploit it. Go at him, get him back to the bench.
Bennett hits both, makes it a 5-point game.
They're extending that zone really high, which is leaving that high post wide open. If they dump it to the high post and just cut baseline.
They're basically challenging Wasatch on the corner wings, aren't they?
Yep, there's the high post. See if he looks down and dumps that below, it's there.
Ballstead. It's his first 3-pointer of the night. Puts Wasatch back up by 8. 54-46, 6:23.
Get reset, space it out.
Another skip across pass. That time the 3-pointer good.
There's the answer.
By Argyle. Argyle now with 12 points for the Dons.
That was a decent possession. There was a few times things broke down. 4 guys got on the same side, but they did a really good job of resetting that and getting back to the spacing in the shot that they wanted.
Anderson found himself completely alone under the basket.
There's a little trouble, finds his outlet.
And that's
knocks
Argyle.
It
down. Argyle now with a couple of 3-pointers tonight.
Coach Ballstead's calling this timeout. They cut it to 5 here with 5:55 in the 4th. You want to get composure of your team, make sure that they know.
Here's once again replay. This is the 3-pointer by Ballstead. Feet set, teed up. That looks like a shot that you're okay with.
Yeah, I was getting tapped there and kind of lost my train of thought as I was going. but just be composed and patient. And that's the thing Wasatch needs to strike. We talked about it before. It's the shark mentality, right? You wait and you wait. And when the chum's in the water, you strike. But don't go after the first thing that splashes,
Wasatch called that timeout, still with 3 timeouts remaining. Both teams 3 timeouts remaining here in the final 6 minutes. 5:55
Spanish is
left.
going man here to guard the inbound.
Magnuson up top, no one guarding him. He's going to dribble up, kick it back out to Windsor.
Does the right thing. He's looking for a guard, get the ball to, and then get low.
Windsor's going to take that 3-pointer. It's good, right?
That's a tough shot. Defender in his face.
I think it took his defender a little by surprise. He kind of thought, surely you're not going to take that 3-pointer. There's Flake. Not a bad look, but again,
got to finish stronger. He's keeping his back, trying to avoid that contact from Cole Magnuson and just kind of flipping up over his shoulder instead of chest to chest, bring that ball through the contact and finish.
Just one little step.
That's a beautiful shot, yeah.
Magnuson on the defensive end causing that shot. Wasatch looked like they were going to have a chance for it, but they unfortunately made a little inopportune turnover there with no one on him, and so Spanish Fork takes over, but Wasatch will get the ball back. Ronan Iyer looked like he was just a little too much
trying to get that ball after the turnover. Yeah, trying to create some defense, create a steal here, and just gets caught.
Iyer's going to come out, take a breather. Iyer's been in most of the game as basically their point guard. But both teams, as you mentioned, it looks like they have 4 guards at a time.
Yeah.
And
he looks frustrated to be coming out of the game. He knows that was a mistake, but I kind of like that. It's an opportunity. It's a risk. It's only your 3rd foul with 5 to go in the game. You need that foul count at some point to go up if you're playing down. So
Windsor's going to drive and get called. He's going to get the foul on him. That is the 4th team foul for Spanish Fork. Just a little under 5 minutes left in this game. Wasatch up by 9. But no lead.
Very smart of Hawk to just pull it back a little bit, get a read.
Hawk drives, kicks it out to Windsor. Guarded much more heavily this time at the 3-point, but Windsor drives. Windsor has almost had his way tonight driving in.
Yeah.
And
that's that mismatch we talked about. He's big enough that he can go down in the post. There's a couple of our fans, which we are so happy to see be able to come into the games now. There's that take.
Yeah, he just got by his guy just a little too much there, didn't he?
And he did have the ball, but there could be some body in there too. I'm trusting the ref 3 feet away rather than.
Windsor misses the first, makes the second. Makes the lead 9.
Extends it a little bit, pushing it out, a little bit more comfortable here with 4.5 to go.
Spanish coming quickly. They're wanting to do the same drive and dish.
See, and again, he had a great roll to the basket, but goes away from Magnuson, the contact, and immediately started looking out. Where
Ballstead really thought he only had ball there on that.
They always do, Coach. Nobody actually fouls ever.
I never fouled. I know that. Argyle at the line for the Dons makes the first. 13 for Argyle tonight. 2 Dons with 13 points, Bennett and Argyle. And Flake with his 11 points. And he makes the second. Cuts the lead to 7. And Spanish Fork is going to take another timeout. Let's take another look at the Region A. Once again, Spanish Fork very, very deceiving with that 0-7 record.
Yeah, I wouldn't sleep on them.
Yeah, that's that could be, in my opinion, in one of the first rounds of the state tournament, somebody like Spanish could really come in and cause some unnecessary trouble for a higher ranked team if they're not careful. Wasatch sitting in 3rd at 5-3, and once again,
which is really good for Wasatch,
Looking at here again at some replays. There's the beautiful little set shot there, 3-pointer by Ballstead.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Brent, but I think that's the first time Wasatch has been this far in the season in the last 300 Ballstead's reign here, where they've had a winning record in region.
Yeah.
And so where they're up there in the top 3 contending with Payson and Maple Mountain, that's a success. That's building the program he wants. Next year will be the first year he's got the same guys all 4 years, and so he's looking to capitalize and move up even, hopefully be on top of the region. But that's a big step for them. The last 2 years, 3, well, and beyond that even.
Looking at
they've been down.
State RPI rankings, as Wasatch takes over here with 427. Payson, who is, of course, leading Region 8, and here's a John Elway down and gets stolen.
Great read, defended.
Argyle kicks out. That's Bennett's going to shoot a 3. Good. And just like that.
That shouldn't happen because all of your players were on this end still, right? So you can't give them an open shot.
Full court pressure by the Dons. Just like that, the Dons are within 4 now. The lead at one point was 11.
Hawk gets an open look.
Takes the 3, no good, and here comes Spanish Fork. They want more, and another 3-point.
Oh, this is huge.
And in a matter of seconds.
Look at that, Coach. That timeout, get them together. Here's our defensive strategy. Get some pressure on Wasatch. Kind of caught him off guard a little bit, and you knock down a couple shots. It's a 1-point game.
And the shots were 3-pointers. So here's the next possession. Oh,
there's that baseball. It's going for the home run.
And there, all of a sudden, they have numbers because 2 Wasps were down, and that was the kick out
Yeah,
and
we got
3.
Yeah.
Well,
that's frustrating as a coach to see that. You don't need that play at the point in the game. You almost kind of want to save the home run for the last 30 seconds
maybe,
to catch a team in the aggressive coming.
Now, I will admit, a good pass, a good John Elway, actually, because we had, I don't know who it was. Was it Windsor that was down here?
It was Hawk down here.
Hawk down here. He was open. He was past his man.
And what you got to do when you're throwing that pass, don't throw it to the player. Throw it to the key and let Hawk go get it.
Let him go get it.
Hawk had to wait there. It's like the receiver has to come back to the ball.
Exactly. Yeah.
The defender was able to come back and adjust and pick that off. If he throws that pass right to the elbow of the key, now Hawks catches it on the run and it's a layup.
So the story is Wasatch was up by 11. They are now only up by 1. That is a 10-0 run, at least amongst different things. But, excuse me.
Here's that pressure.
Full court pressure.
Easily
has
broken by
numbers
Wasatch.
again. And quickly scores is Windsor and the foul. Now, as energetic as Spanish Fork was, that's devastating.
They took the gamble here on trying to pick the pass. He didn't have it. And by doing that, now you've got a number advantage for Wasatch going the opposite way.
Windsor streaking down the side of the court. If we have that replay, we can see that in a minute. But Windsor
so quick, I don't know if we can pick it up.
Play. 18 now, and there's another steal. Ballstead wisely pulls back.
Just a poor pass, a bad turnover there by Spanish. You can't be in the game and expect to win it if you're going to throw it away like that at any point.
Both teams have shown amazing energy, and yet at both teams have also occasionally had that little, occasional turnover that
Wasatch is looking for their motion offense, spreading and just trying to rub off screens and get to the rim.
And that is off Windsor's foot. Just an unfortunate trip there. And
that whole half of the court was open for him. That just happens. Those lines jump up and grab you.
4-point lead for Wasatch. Spanish Fork takes over 3:08. And full court pressure for Wasatch also on the Dons.
Some man pressure.
And once
just
again,
not aware of where the ball's at, and it hits him in the back, and Wasatch takes advantage.
High pressure by the Dons.
Lob it into their big man.
Yeah, almost looking like they were going to get that into.
Lob it into him.
Windsor hands it off to Hughes. Hughes is clear at the half-court line and almost gets it to Magnuson, but it is a turnover.
Yeah, very good job by Spanish by cutting off that passing lane, get their hands up.
There's that same kick to the corner, this time no good, but Bennett comes up with it. Spanish Fork gets another shot. 2:30 left in the game. Spanish Fork down 4.
Feeling a little bit of the excitement in the gym and the tension coming. Another big block by Cole. Just like the first half, hand right on top of the ball. Great stoppage.
We're going to call that.
Those are the plays that are in the minds of the Spanish guys when they're coming in.
We're going to come up with a new name for it. It's going to be Mount Magnuson. Mount Magnuson with his 3rd block of the night.
It's 2 minutes to go. It's only a 4-point game. Like, neither team should feel rushed. Spanish, this is where it's, as a coach, you're going to want to manage the clock and time in your team a lot because they may not have been in a position like this frequently. So a lot of times they'll feel that game pressure. We want this win so bad that you'll take chances and risks that you normally shouldn't. Just be patient.
That is Mount.
Sometimes you can be as good as you want, and then and the mountain comes for the block.
That is a big mountain wingspan. We're counting. We don't have official stats here, but that's at least the 3rd block of the night for the mountain. Wasatch takes a 30-second timeout, up 61-57, and they just called their second to last timeout. So Wasatch with 1 more timeout, Spanish Fork with 2. Both teams at 6 fouls team fouls. So the next foul for either team will be free throws.
And I give that advantage swings towards Wasatch.
Okay.
We've seen them shoot free throws very well and win games at the line.
Here we go. Wasatch takes over. A little double team on Ballstead. He drives, goes baseline, tries to reverse. And boy, there was a lot of ball there.
Yeah,
that was maybe there was some body.
If I was a coach, I would argue that.
But boy, none of the Spanish Fork coaches seem to be arguing. So at this point, may not help.
It was kind of on the opposite side. The ball was maybe shielded by the players, and they're on the other end. But from this angle, yeah, these are big free throws. Then this is where it comes down to free throw game.
Ballstead at the line. Ballstead, as we mentioned earlier, 7 points, a little under his average, but he has been, as Corey mentioned, the true leader tonight.
An impact player, regardless.
Sinks the first. And that makes it a 5-point game.
And Wasatch has 1 timeout. Spanish has 2. That does come down in effect if who's going to push the other to use them.
Mount Magnuson comes off the court. He is on the bench now. Misses the second, and Hughes is going to get called for a foul. And you better be careful.
Hughes disagrees, as they do.
So
here's the free throw battle, right? The free throw game.
Spanish Fork benefits no time off the clock there, except a second or two, and they have a chance.
You held them to 1 point, and you get the ball back with an opportunity to score without the clock running.
At the line for the Dons is Bennett. Bennett with 16 points tonight. Calmly sinks the first right down.
Yeah, looks very calm.
And that makes it a 4-point game. This free throw can bring them within 1 possession game, 3 points. What does Spanish Fork need to do here, Coach?
Well, make that. You got to convert your free. You got to make every single free throw from here on out.
Now it's a 2-point deal. It's a 2-possession game, and Spanish is going to be trying to do what Coach Ballstead talked about earlier. The little, as you mentioned, the shark bites. He says they get lots of slaps, and they seem to get away with it on their defense. There's one right there. Not sure they're going to call that foul on Olsen. Yes, looks like they are. That's a risk, isn't it? You know, teams should get a lot of steals by reaching for balls, and if they carefully do it, trying to get the ball.
And without a shot clock, you've got to take those risks.
Yeah.
You can't wait.
Anderson at the line for Wasatch, quietly contributing 14, now 15 points tonight. And I say quietly, you know, normally the offense kind of centers around him. But boy, tonight he has just done his hustle points and his job. Again, 15 points makes the second, and that makes it a 6-point game for Wasatch. 1 minute, 30 seconds. There's a 3-point attempt by Spanish Fork. No, but they do get the offensive board. And
you don't need a 3. Take a 2 if you've got it, but
they seem to be very intent.
I feel like the lane was open if they would have drove.
Yes.
There's that back cut.
Yep. Wasatch doing a great job of not allowing
they're so determined to get a 3.
Yep.
They're burning so much time doing it.
Foul called there, and I'm not sure. Oh, it looks like they are going to call the foul. Call it on Windsor. But I'm thinking that was away from the ball.
I think it was just the whistle wasn't very loud, and the play kept going for a while. But yeah, that's his 4th, and that's fine.
Yep. Either case, Bennett at the line shooting 1 and 1. And as you mentioned, Coach, these free throws very necessary. Spanish Fork.
Yeah, you can't stress how big these free throws are in a game this close.
Bennett sinks the first. 17 for the night for him. Misses the second, and there's a battle for the rebound, and Hawk Ballstead comes up with it. There's going to be double teams everywhere now.
They've got numbers deep if they look deep.
Quick foul.
Yep.
That's Argyle. Argyle.
Yeah, it looks like the strategy right now for Spanish Fork is the free throw game. But you can't trade 2 for 1 the opposite way.
That's only the second personal foul for Argyle. At this point, with the possibility of a tie, actually Wasatch and Spanish Fork each with only one player with 4 fouls. So Spanish Fork uses their second to last timeout. 53 seconds, and we're going to talk just a little bit here about these teams. Once again, we mentioned the Wasatch game that was postponed this last Tuesday night at Springville, where we're going to see these replays here talking about there's the Windsor pull-up. You could just watch that all night.
When you have a shooter like that, it opens up so many things. It just takes stress off. In a close game, well, let Garrett get a shot. All is well again. And
I remember playing a long time ago in high school, but there was a kid from Carson City, Nevada. I was in the Reno high school team, and he was big and he was lefty. And I watched Windsor, and I remember one of our guys being thrown off by a lefty shooter. Is that something? Is that a thing?
It used to be more because you didn't see them very much. Okay. I feel like they're more.
I mean, I can understand that a baseball pitcher.
Yeah.
But I guess it would be just enough to.
It's a little different. But if you scout a team and it's a quick mindset adjustment that you just make.
Because it just seems like sometimes he's taking those super quick, those jumpers, not off balance, and he just has a quick release, like you mentioned earlier.
But if you don't scout, if you don't make that mindset, even after the first shot, lefty, he can burn you. You've got to mentally make that. And that's something, a few kids at this level will do. They will find tendencies early on of how they can exploit it. The guy either defending them or how they can defend a player. And those kids excel and look so much better because of that. That's part of the coaching and development that I like to focus on, more than the physical ability.
Anderson sinks both free throws. It is a 7-point game. There's a quick three-pointer.
Big board.
A big rebound by the little guy. And it looks like Bennett.
A lot of contact on the rebound.
There. Looks like they're going to call the foul before the jump ball. Yeah, Spanish a little.
Boy, they had opportunities, didn't they?
Yeah, and it looked like I thought there was a possibility of a foul there somewhere.
Yeah.
Kind of an unfortunate little stream of events there for the Dons. Wasatch is going to get free throws again. 7-point lead, 37 seconds, and you have to start thinking, Coach.
And Jackson's not the one you want to put to the line.
Yeah. Mount Magnuson did come back in the game after that timeout. Anderson sinks the first. Once again, Anderson quietly
Windsor on the bench. I think he's done for the night.
Nope, coming back in.
He was just waiting for me to say that.
I'm sure there was a coach. Mount Magnuson comes back out of the game.
How about 9 points here with 37 seconds?
And what is Wasatch just doesn't want to foul, right?
Yeah, just stay in between. Just stay in front of him. Wall up. Stay in front. Don't take gambles like that. You don't need it. The clock is your friend. Fouls or not.
A nice drive there by Ronan Iyer.
They'll use their last timeout.
Final timeout called, taken by Spanish Fork. They are down 7, 21 seconds left. Coach, absolutely, positively, this game is not over even with 21 seconds. We saw Spanish Fork do this earlier.
They rattled off. Nice little floater.
Beautiful little Ronan layup there. Yeah, we watched Spanish Fork come back.
Yeah.
I mean, more than this. They were in less than 30 seconds. They made up a 9-point. So you're talking 7 points here. They're thinking, I mean,
and I know that's in their mind right now. And that's what he's telling them. We can do this is how we're going to do it.
Before. Yep. If you were,
these are the guys we don't want to foul. This is the guy we do.
Wasatch probably won't be trying the John Elway again, but
See, and this would be a perfect opportunity, though, by it, because
probably
they have to force pressure. They're going to try to trap everything. If you flash up and burn deep.
Yeah, they look
But you use
John
that.
Elway. And now they don't want to foul, but they do. They get Anderson. There was a little body contact there. And I think that's not what Spanish Fort drew up, Coach. I think
No, I don't think so.
they were hoping to deny the ball just a little bit more. But that's where it's tough. You know, you have the Wasatch kids, again, both teams very similar and very speedy, and Wasatch did their job there. Anderson 4 for 4 in his last attempts, and I just jinxed him. Sorry.
That's on you.
Sorry. Wasatch still with a 7-point lead. Still a 3-possession game now.
Yeah.
8-point lead.
8 points, 18 seconds.
Spanish Fork now. Windsor coming off again. Mount Magnuson coming in. And as you said, just needs to provide that little bit of pressure in the paint.
Yeah, just stay in front, contest.
There's a steal by Hughes.
Collins just going to take it from him. You put that in my out there, I'll take that.
Yeah, I think Argyle a little frustrated there.
Yeah.
Probably holding his top.
Man, it's I feel for Spanish, but I'm happy for Wasatch in a moment like this.
Yep,
It's a great, solid win. You did some good things. Spanish comes in, tries to steal one on the road. They did the things they needed to. If they could have had some of those easy buckets in the first half, who knows what it would be right now. But fighting hard, compete to the end, and what a good night of basketball in Region 8.
Colin Hughes sinks the first. That's 11 points for him, and calmly sinks the second. 12 points now.
And now if you're Wasatch, let them shoot and don't even inbound it. Just don't
offensive
foul.
Board there. Bennett will put up one more three off the rim. And Iyer actually will get the bucket. Ronan Iyer will get the bucket. And but that is the game, 71-63.
And that's kind of the story of the game, that last possession.
Yes.
Opportunity for Spanish Fork. And they get a good one, but those three before it, kind of the story of the game.
Wasatch facing a team like that. Spanish Fork never saying die. Get to see a lot of replays here of the game. This was in the first half. Great.
That's when they were attacking and cutting those lanes and getting to the rim. There's a big block by Cole. His first one. And
And like you say, that's got to be one of the, that's a stat there, a block. But like you mentioned, Magnuson causing many other problems.
Yeah. So many more. So many more changed shots because that's in the back of their mind.
Great replays. Everybody there on the staff, good job. Mount Magnuson, hopefully that'll stick. I kind of like that little nickname for him.
I like it.
Hughes, that was the little, like you mentioned, the quick Euro step. Windsor had several of those little soft 10-foot jumpers and the three-pointers. I'd say
Windsor, credit him being able to play with that intensity and aggressive with the foul trouble that he faced, and being able to finish the game on the court without fouling out.
We were mentioning that Windsor has always played well, but boy, tonight it just seemed like he had his way.
Yeah.
It just seemed like no matter what type of defense they showed, no matter who was on him, he just had his way. And he, if they stopped his drives, he just stayed back and hit the threes. If Ballstead again, I'm sure
kind of a quiet night, but an impact player, as we've talked about, whenever he's on the floor. And knowing Hawk, he's that kind of player on the bench as well. He leads from the bench. He leads just by example, on and off, and brings a lot to the team. So it's good to have him back.
One of the seniors on this Wasatch team. We can talk as we keep watching these replays. And there's the big downtown NBA three for Anderson. We don't have the stats official. Generally, we have them up on the board for just a little bit longer, but
yeah, I think everybody's ready to go tonight.
I think so too. Well, in the last couple of minutes here, Coach, you've mentioned it a few times. What's the big difference in this game overall?
Taking advantage, or not taking advantage of, but capitalizing on the opportunities given to you. Wasatch was able to do that, and Spanish faltered in the first half, and I think that's the difference in this game. Both teams very similar, competed very hard. You saw a lot of the same defensive mixes you saw, but in the first half especially, Spanish was unable to capitalize on some of those opportunities that just, like I said, that very last possession was kind of the story of their night. Opportunity, and it just, for whatever, just doesn't bounce right for you.
Well, the resounding thing, as you mentioned, Spanish Fork just having a tough year. They have great athletes, great coaching. It seems like they know what they're doing. But with that 0-7, now 0-8 record, so deceiving.
It's a mental hurdle. It's hard to get over when you see that and you experience it. It's you win to lose. I mean, you learn to win and you learn to lose too sometimes, and it's really hard as a coach to break those cycles. And but everything that I see from them, they're competing, they're doing the right things they need. They just need a couple of things to go their way and convert.
And as you mentioned, just a couple of those in the paint opportunities that they had in that first half. This is a completely different game.
But the more I think about it, the more I'm going to give credit to Mag on that.
Okay.
Mount Mag, right? Mountain Mag.
We'll keep working on that.
I really think he made a difference in the paint of just disrupting shots. People had lanes, they had good takes, and they were changing their shots or hurrying their shots. And
the only other factor, Corey, you mentioned it before, Wasatch, in my opinion, solidifying this game at the free throw line.
And solidifying themselves at the top of the region. Good teams that go deep in tournaments can shoot free throws. They're well balanced, right? You have really good guard play. You have a post presence that whether they have to make stops or whether they have to score, you've got that ability. They have that with Cole. He can show that at least defensively, he's a threat every time. They've got amazing shooters on the outside. And so with their free throw, they're plenty capable and loaded to go deep in a tournament play.
Last question here. What do you think? We'd had some discussion, it seems like the last couple games, a few too many turnovers, and I know Coach Ballstead mentioned that. Where do you put this one tonight? Like, where do you stack this game compared to some of the others?
I don't think it's as bad tonight as some of the ones that we've seen, and you don't want any turnovers as a coach,
right?
But that's just not going to happen, especially at this level. I thought tonight was okay. I felt like they did better the second half for sure. Just a little bit more patient and limiting those. I think as the game wore down with 3 minutes and under for Wasatch, that's where they need to improve on taking risks and making turnovers either on offense or fouls on defense. Like, know when you need to put that pressure, know when you can back off and give him 2 feet of space and just stay in front of him.
We want to thank you all for joining us here, Sting TV. Coach mentioned these sponsors once again. We're very appreciative of the sponsors. Name off a few of them that are actually new tonight.
Mountain One Lunch Stop, and I got to tell you, I've had 3 burritos this week from Mountain One Lunch Stop. If you haven't been to Moe's Grill at Mountain Land, I highly recommend it. Dairy King. I went to Dairy King twice this week for ice cream.
Well, you were living here at the school.
Maybe
so
that's why I went to these sponsors, right? Because that's where I'm going. Dairy King, though, always a fan, people favorite, and Danny Labrum Ford Chevy here in town, do so much for the school and the community. And our Heber Valley Cheese out in Midway, the Kohler Farms. If you haven't been out there, they too have great ice cream.
That's awesome.
If you haven't been to
That's great. Well, once again, thank you for joining us here, Sting TV. We know the picture's gone, but thanks for at least listening to us old guys here. Just well, one old guy, one young guy. But final score: 71 for Wasatch, 63 for Spanish Fork. A big win keeps Wasatch in the top 3 in the Region 8, and
they're contenders.
They're contenders. They do have a big game coming up on Monday. So we'll mention this one more time. The final time Tuesday night game that was postponed is going to be played Monday at Spanish Fork at 2:30, a very odd time.
So check the website, wasatchstinktv.com, under the girls basketball. I'm going to find out from our admin before they leave here tonight if we can get in there and broadcast that if we need to. And,
okay.
And if we can, I'll have that posted as early as I can on the website.
So until then, we thank you once again for joining us here on Sting TV. I'm Brent Martindale here for Corey Lang and all of the fantastic student staff here at Sting TV. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.